Hey everybody, Trent Zimmer here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're coming back, thank you for giving us another opportunity. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about a really simple model that has to do with managing your finances, watching the flow of money, and how to create velocity with your money. I think it's a really nice, simple model, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. So let's get started. On my paper here, you're going to see me draw a rectangle in the center of the page, and that's going to represent our wealth account. Okay, right now that's going to be nothing more than an account that catches all of our income. Okay, we all know that one of the most expensive things that we have, at least here where we live, is our taxes. So we're going to put the IRS. Now we're going to save this conversation for a different day, but there is like a 10,000 page tax code that shows you all the different ways that you can limit your tax liability. And you should go and talk to your CPA about this. I am not a CPA, so I'm not going to go into taxes very much. However, I will say the government has written a tax code that incentivizes us to take certain risks, and you can use that to help build wealth as well. So we want to just keep in mind today that we want to keep those expenses as low as we can. So over here, we're going to create an account, and this is going to be what we use for your expenses. Okay, so we're just going to label this expenses. So if you have monthly expenses like rent, mortgage, your car, gas, daycare, your groceries, maybe you go to Starbucks every morning, that's okay, by the way. Whatever you do, it's okay, but just know your expenses. We're going to call that your burn rate. So the amount of money that you spend every month to live is called your burn rate. It doesn't matter what your number is. That's not the point of this exercise, but we do need to know what that number is. So if it's 5,000, great. If it's 20,000, great. But just have the answer. For the sake of this and for the sake of easy math, we're going to assume this person's burn rate is $10,000 per month. You're going to see why that's important here in a second. So over here, we're going to write this account. This account is going to be our savings account. Okay? Now, one of the questions that I always had coming out of my college age years and into my professional years was, how much should I be carrying in my savings? I have no idea. My situation is going to be a little bit different than most people's because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a real estate agent. Everything I do is commission-based or I get paid off the profit of my business. And so I have a lot more risk than most W-2 employees. For me, 6 months of my burn rate is what I want in my savings account. Maybe you're a W-2 employee or you're a teacher or something where you have a lot more job security, you're going to get a paycheck no matter what, then you can go to maybe 3 months, or maybe you want to go to 9. It doesn't matter what that number is, but pick a number and stick with it and make it realistic. So for me, it's 6 months. So we're going to go savings account is going to be 6 times our burn rate, and we're going to make that $60,000. Okay? So now that we have those two things settled, let's talk a little bit about our income streams. Off to the right side here, we're just going to put a couple of lines. And we're just going to say this person has 3 income streams, okay? They've got their W-2 job or 1099, doesn't really matter. The next thing they have is, let's say they have a duplex, okay? So they have an investment property. And then, this person has a little side hustle. On the weekends, they like to drive Uber, okay? And they make some money driving Uber. So all of these things are going to drive income into our wealth account, okay? Now this is where it starts to get really fun. So the money starts falling into the account. This is awesome. This is so awesome. We're making money. We got to make sure 10,000 a month goes into this account, okay? And this is actually happening. You're keeping $10,000 into a certain account, and when that money is gone, you are done spending money. That's how you budget, okay? Anything that's left over is going to make its way into the savings account. But here's the best part. We are not going to go beyond that 6-month threshold. So once that $60,000 is in there, we're not adding to it and we're not using it. We are not using this unless we have an emergency, which is why I'm putting 911 right there. A real emergency is not like you need new golf clubs or you need the new handbag that just came out. 911 means it's an emergency. You have a major car issue and you can't get to work. You may need to dip into your savings to fix it, but you need to make sure that the next time that income stream comes around that you're refilling that, okay? We want to keep that at that 6-month threshold or whatever month you decide. Again, this is where it starts to get really fun. Once this account is full, you continue putting the $10,000 into your burn rate account, and now what you would have put over into savings is going to essentially just kind of sit right here, and it's going to be ready to purchase another one of these, another asset. Okay, you want to continue building this line over here and adding as many arms of income as you possibly can. Okay, and I don't care what these are. Let's just call them more properties because I love real estate. Maybe you invest in some stocks that pay you dividends. I don't know. All of this is going to continue driving money. And this is how you create velocity behind your money. Remember when I said velocity behind money at the beginning of the video? This is what I was talking about. Because now you don't have to put anything into savings. You're now pumping it into things that are continuing to make money. And this is really where the wealth gap starts to separate. So wealthy people, instead of going and buying a new car every couple of years, they're going to put it aside and they're going to go buy it into something that's a cash flowing asset and makes them money while they sleep. Now you can make whatever decision you want when it comes to finances, and you may think money's not most important, and I don't think it's the most important either. I think health, family, wealth is kind of in that order. But imagine all the great you could do if everybody was wealthy. We'd all be able to give more. And so for that reason, I love following this model, and this is the ultimate goal for my family, is to create velocity behind money and let our money go to work for us. Here's something I want to leave you with as we wrap up. One of the principles that we live by is you create or you live in a financially free or safe and secure world when your passive income exceeds your burn rate. Okay? Once your passive income, so obviously your W-2, 1099 is not passive, but once some of these other things start to exceed that $10,000 a month in income, you are what we call financially secure or financially free. And that's an amazing feeling. So the number one cause of divorce, the number one stressor to people, just the general population, is finance. And if we can figure these things out, I think people will be much happier. So this is kind of my simple model that we follow, and I hope it works for you guys. If you have any questions, leave some comments below. Otherwise, I'll look forward to seeing you guys again on the next video. We'll talk to you soon.